This is Dr. Sridhar, back to you with another video session on how can we derive the transfer function of the given electrical and various mechanical systems. And before starting to that, first let me discuss a problem which was described in differential equation, and from the differential equation how can we get the transfer function and how can we represent the transfer function with along with its input and outputs. Now that such type of problems we are going to discuss in today's video session. So first find the transfer function represented by dc of t by dt plus 2c of t is equal to r of t. Now suppose if you keenly observe the particular problem, what he has given is first derivation of c of t plus 2c of t is equal to r of t. Generally c of t is nothing but that is a standard notation for representing the output quantity, and r of t is nothing but that is the standard way of representing the input quantity. Now output is c of t and input is r of t, means these two functions or these two signals are varying with respect to the time. Because of that only c is depending on t, so c of t it was given for the outputs, and r of t, r depends on the time, that is the input depends on the time, r input is a function of time, so that's why input is represented as r of t. Now in our previous video sessions in this control system, we have discussed many times that any dynamic system we can represent as a differential form, or we can represent directly the dynamics of the system or dynamic system in the form of differential equation. This is the best example for the system representation. So here the system was given as dc of t by dt is equal to 2c of t is equal to r of t. So it is very clear that the data what they have given is in the first order differential equation, means indirectly this was the mathematical equivalent of one dynamic system, right? Now if any system is given like this, or if the differential equation of any system is known, so getting the response or getting the relation between output and inputs in terms of the time domain means it is a laborious and time consuming process. So that's why better apply the Laplace transform for the differential equation of the system, then we can directly get the transfer function by rearranging the Laplace transform expressions. For example, now because what we want to determine here, we want to determine that what is the transfer function of the given system. So transfer function is nothing but, let us recall what the definition of the transfer function. Transfer function can be defined as the Laplace transform of output to the Laplace transform of inputs with zero initial conditions. Means now while deriving the transfer function, we need not consider the initial conditions. Just to say, for the sake, just ignore the initial conditions. Now by ignoring the initial conditions, let us rearrange the total expression, that is a differential equation, after converting into the, or after applying the Laplace transform, and just rearrange the equation such that the ratio between Laplace transform of output to the Laplace transform of inputs at zero initial conditions, which is nothing but the transfer function. So if you want to determine the transfer function, first of all we should know the Laplace relation, or Laplace, the ratio between the Laplace of output to the Laplace of inputs. So in order to do so, let us apply the Laplace transform for the given differential equation, which is nothing but dc of t by dt plus 2c of t is equal to r of t. Just if you are applying the Laplace transform to that left side expression separately, and after that just apply the Laplace transform to the right side. So taking the Laplace transform on both sides, assuming zero initial conditions, then the first derivation is nothing but s capital C of s plus 2c of s is equal to r of s. This is the Laplace of first order differential equation what they have given. And here if you could keenly observe on the left side that c of s is there on the two terms. So just let me take the c of s as a common, then the remaining one is nothing but the s plus 2, on the right side is nothing but the r of s. So what is the transfer function? Transfer function is nothing but that is the Laplace transform of output to the Laplace transform of input. Laplace transform of output means c of s divided by the Laplace transform of input means r of s. So c of s to r of s is nothing but 1 by s plus 2. Now this we obtained just by rearranging the expression. So finally, in the block diagram model also, now inside the block, we had to write whatever the mathematical equivalent of the given system. Now here, we don't know what type of system is that, but they have the system, the physical behavior of the system was converted into a differential equation. The differential equation is nothing but the well describes the performance of the mechanical system or electrical system. We don't know exactly what type of system is. Now after that also, again, if you want to represent the system by using some Laplace transform in order to find out the transfer function, now we can do that by taking the Laplace transform of the total differential equation. And if you are rearranging that equation such that the Laplace transform of output to the Laplace transform of input, so straight away we can generate or we can write down what is the relation between the two functions of Laplace domain. So that is nothing but for this particular problem. So R of S is marked as input, which was shown as the signal on the left side of that particular block, and C of S is nothing but that is output signal or output quantity, which was marked on the right side of that particular block. So inside that block, generally we have to represent the mathematical equivalent of the process or plant, which is nothing but 1 by S plus 2. So this is nothing but this is the way of determining the transfer function if the differential equations are known to us of any given system. So similarly, so one more problem, let us examine. Find the transfer function G of S is equal to C of S by R of S. Straight away in the data itself they have clearly mentioned. So transfer function is nothing but G of S is equal to C of S to the R of S. So G of S is nothing but it is standardly the transfer function can be represented as G of S. Sometimes we can write T of S. T is nothing but the transfer function in S domain, or straight away sometimes people will say that C of S by R of S straight away. So it is immaterial with which letter, with which form they have represented the transfer function, but the transfer function means ultimately that is a ratio between C of S to the R of S corresponding to the differential equation. So differential equation is, now if you could keenly observe the differential equation, what they have given is, it is a third order differential equation, that is d power 3 d cube c by dt cube plus 3 d square c by dt square plus 7 dc by dt plus 5c is equal d square r by dt square plus 4 dr by dt plus 3r. So this is a third order differential equation. Now of course that c in bracket he has nothing, it was given, even for r also nothing it was given. Okay, it is immaterial, but we can say that this is c and r, definitely it is a time dependent functions. So now don't worry about whether c of t has given or just c, it is immaterial. Now if any differential equation is given, then if they want us to calculate the transfer function, just straight away you apply the Laplace transform for the whole equation and you separate the Laplace transform of output, which is nothing but the C of in this example and in the previous example also, and Laplace transform of input is nothing but that is R of S. So you separate the two terms and just rearrange the equation. Finally we will get what is the Laplace domain or Laplace equivalent of output to the Laplace equivalent of input. So see, if you are applying the Laplace transform for the given problem, dqc by dt cube plus 3d square c by dt square plus 7 dc by dt plus 5c, for this left side if you could apply the Laplace transform, so first term is nothing but the s power 3 c of s plus 3s square c of s plus 7s c of s plus 5 c of s is equal s square r of s plus 4s r of s plus 3 r of s. So on the left side, every term is nothing but there is c of s is there in every term. So just you separate c of s from the left side expression and r of s from the right side expression and just take the ratio between, or just rearrange that equation such that the ratio between c of s to r of s is nothing but, now we are going to get the final expression, that is s square plus 4s plus 3 divided by s cube plus 3s square plus 7s plus 5. So which is nothing but that is a mathematical equivalent in transfer function way of representing any physically existing systems. Now here that system we don't know exactly what type of system is, but the system we have represented in two ways. One is in the differential equations and one is nothing but in the Laplace domain, that is nothing but the transfer function. So in these many ways are available for us to represent any physically existing system. So once if the transfer function is known to us, so sometimes we may get doubts. What is the need of calculating the transfer function, or what is the need of representing the mathematical modeling, or what is the need of the way of representing the mathematical model, and why exactly people are working towards to determine the mathematical equivalent of any physically existing system. Now, see, already in my previous videos, many times we have discussed about the importance of models. Anyhow, once again, I am highlighting the importance and the need of representing any system, especially in the mathematical way. So, the first thing is, if you want to do something, or if you want to experiment that particular system, or if you want to adjust some of the internal parameters of the system in order to meet the desired outputs, now the way is nothing but, one way is you can do it practically or in the system itself. In some cases, what are the advantages and disadvantages? Now, majorly the disadvantages we can highlight that sometimes in the majority of the cases, the system may get damaged if you are doing real-time experiments on the system itself directly. So that the probability, the success rate is nothing but the very less. In order to overcome this difficulty, better if try to derive the mathematical equivalent of that particular system, and you can perform so many simulations with the help of digital computing techniques or any other techniques. We can do it. Now, if you are doing it also, nothing will be happen to the physical system, as we are not doing any direct experiments on the system. So that is a need of, or that is the importance of mathematical modeling. So now let us examine the importance with the help of this transfer function. Here, now I want to see that C of S is nothing but to a particular value, C1 of S I want to see. Now, according to the desired output C1 of S, you can vary that R of S arbitrarily. Trial and error method you can also use here, because if that C1 is that output is completely deviating from your desired output also, nothing will be happen, because this is a mathematical modeling. So, and this is nothing but we can do these type of experiments in the computer itself. That is nothing but it is a digital computing techniques. So that is a very, very important advantage of the mathematical modelings of any physically existing systems. So let us examine, or if the electrical system is given to us, if directly that electrical system is given to us, how can you determine the transfer function of the electrical systems? Now, find the transfer function relating the capacitor voltage Vc of S to the input voltage V of S. Here in the data itself, it was clearly given that the output voltage or output parameter is nothing but that is the voltage drop across the capacitor. You have to take it as the output, and input is nothing but that is the supply voltage. How much of voltage you are injecting into the system, that is nothing but that voltage we have to take it as the input, and output is nothing but straight away the voltage across the capacitor is the output. So anyhow, the transfer function means basically you can straight away you can assume that in the initial conditions are zero initial conditions. Now, if you could keenly observe that the given system, now that is nothing but the series RLC circuit, it is exciting with some supply voltage V of t. So V of t, L is there, R is there, and C is there. Let me assume the current through that series RLC circuit is nothing but the I of t I. Or that voltage, it was assumed that it is capable to drive I of t current through RLC, which these three are connected in series with respect to the source. So the current is nothing but the I of t. Now, it is a mesh or it is a simple loop, so that straight away you can apply the Kirchhoff voltage law. Now, if you could observe, apply the Kirchhoff voltage law, the drop across the inductor is nothing but the L di by dt, plus the drop across the resistance is nothing but I into R, plus the drop across the capacitor is 1 by C integration over I of t into dt, which is nothing but V of t. So here integration over 0 to t, but anyhow we are ignoring the initial conditions, so we can ignore that also, no matter. But exactly if you want to define the voltage across the capacitor, that is integration between two time limits into I of t into dt. So that is a way of representing the voltage drop across the capacitor. Now anyhow we are ignoring the initial conditions, no matter what are the limits of that capacitor is for the safe mode of operation. So now again here this is RLC parameter, RLC circuit, and we know that the current is nothing but the rate of change of charge. So I of t is equals dq by dt. Just substitute in that expression. So that becomes L into d by dt of I of t. I of t is nothing but again dq by dt. So d square q of t by dt square. Plus similarly, because why we are replacing this I of t with dq by dt, that is one of the important parameter we have to carefully observe. Because in this polynomial, in this particular expression, if you could observe, here that integrated term is there. So in the integrated term, whenever you are coming across, and if you are applying the Laplace transform, we are going to get the 1 by s. No, it is not a wrong thing, but we can proceed like that also. After getting the 1 by s, and if you are taking the LCM, nothing will be happen. But it is better, it is a simple way of doing the things is better convert everything into a simple differential equation form. So we can also eliminate this integrator by equivalently representing I of t with its first order equivalent. So I of t we can write as a dq of t by dt. So just you substitute in place of I of t dq of t by dt. Only that is the reason we are substituting something in place of I of t, and that something should be such that that integrator should be eliminated. So that is the thing here. I am just following here. So that made me to assume I of t is equal to dq of t by dt, or simply in the simplest form you can write dq by dt. So this is the one thing here. So if you are replacing I of t with dq of t by dt, now the polynomial is nothing but L into d square by dt square plus r into dq of t by dt plus 1 by c integration over, or I of t dt is there. So integration over I of t is nothing but the dq of t by dt. So integration and differentiator gets cancelled. So straight away 1 by c into q of t is nothing but the v of t. Now here nothing we have applied. That Laplace transform also we have now not applied. Only the time domain equations only just we are altering in order to make the simplification further and further simple. So from the voltage charge relation, now even though you can eliminate some of the parameter, because only the thing here it is. So why we have taken I of t is equal to dq by dt means only in order to eliminate the integrator. So and one more relation also I am taking here, q of t is equal to cv into c of t, c vc of t. So what is the need of representing this? Because if you could observe this whole expression, in this expression only v of t is there. That v of t is nothing but this is the input here. And what about the output here? So no direct parameter is there. So in that cases what I am doing is, now q of t you can also write that q of t is nothing but the charge across the capacitor. So the charge inside the capacitor is q. So if you know the q, that is nothing but the c. Actually that current is nothing but the I is nothing but c dv by dt. So I is equals c dv by dt. So I is nothing but dq by dt. So this is nothing but c dv by dt. So that v is nothing but the across the capacitor. So you can write c dvc of t by dt. So what about the charge now? Charge is nothing but c into capacitor voltage. So this is the one way of simplifying a thing. So q is equal to c vc of t. So if you are replacing this charge with this particular expression, so everything, so this total simple expression may be in terms of vc of t and v of t. So that is nothing but vc of t is nothing but that's what the parameter we are interested, because that vc of t is nothing but output voltage and v of t is nothing but the input voltage. Then after converting, after getting the expression in terms of output and inputs, better you apply the Laplace transform, straight away we are going to get the transfer function. So that made me to assume q of t is equal to c vc of t. So that is the reason I am writing this particular expression. So just if you are taking this L into d square q of t by dt square. So q of t is equal to c vc of t. So that is nothing but if you could substitute here. So L into c d square vc of t by dt square plus r into c into dvc of t by dt plus now q of t is nothing but c vc of t. So q of t by c is nothing but the vc of t is equal to v of t. So after getting this, straight away you apply the Laplace transform. So once that Laplace transform is applied, then LC s square plus RC VC of s. Anyhow, VC of s I am taking it as a common straight away. So this is VC of t is nothing but the 1. So whole VC of s is equal. On the right side, V of t is there. So for this, if you are applying the Laplace transform, so this becomes V of s. So after getting this particular expression, just rearrange that equation such that the ratio what he has asked is now capacitor voltage Vc of S to the input voltage V of S. So that is 1 by LC divided by S square plus R by L into S plus 1 by LC. So this is nothing but this is the transfer function of series RLC circuit if it is excited with V of t, and if it was assumed that the output voltage is the voltage across the capacitor. So this is the method used to determine the transfer function of any given electrical systems. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you. I think these problems helpful for us in understanding the basic electrical circuits and what is the way of representing the differential equations in the simplified manner and how we are going to determine the transfer function. So in this video session, we have discussed about differential equations to transfer function and electrical systems to differential equations and differential equations to the transfer function. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching this video.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.